We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
Alrighty, y'all. So obviously it was a fantastic week for all us Miami Dolphins fans because we dominated the New England Patriots. So in this video, let's take a look at how that playoff run is going. And like I just said, we dominated New England Patriots in week 12. So get excited about that because Tua Tagovailoa now improves to 7-0 all time against the Patriots. And for a team that we had so much trouble against for so long, to say that we own them is a good feeling to say the least. I told y'all to watch out for Jalen Waddle and that we were going to get a 300-yard Tua game. We were just waiting on it, and we got both. So make sure y'all follow for more accurate Dolphins predictions because I'm going to keep them coming all year round, even into these playoffs, baby. Now, we didn't get that third week in a row with Tyreek getting a touchdown. What we did get for a third week in a row was Jonnu Smith absolutely balling out as one of the best tight ends in the NFL this year. I mean, the guy is becoming one of Tua's favorite targets and has been really performing all year for us. He gets into the end zone again and had all kinds of catches down the middle, and he really has become one of those top targets for Tua, and we finally have a solid third option to complement Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and our great speedy options. But we don't have a piece to complement Jonnu. I mean, he is a great receiver, but he does lack a little bit on the blocking side. And now Julian Hill is a decent blocker and Durham Smythe as well. I just can't get over the Julian Hill mistakes. I mean, is he that much better than Durham Smythe that we stopped giving Durham Smythe as many touchdowns? I mean, I feel like I barely ever see him in the game anymore. And, I've always liked Durham Smythe as a blocker and just that complimentary piece. Doesn't have to catch a ton of balls, but he's always going to go in there and do the dirty work. So, can Julian Hill knock those out? We saw again this week, he had that drop, almost turned fumble. And it just seems like week in, week out, he has those kind of mistakes. I'd like to see more Durham Smythe in there. But let's stay on the positives because it was a great week to be a Dolphins fan. The offense really did perform really well. And, of course, our guy Tua is on a roll, and he kept it going this week. His confidence is through the roof with 3 wins in a row. Honestly, should be 4 or 5, but the guy really is playing like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL since his return. And I am not exaggerating at this point. The stats absolutely agree with me. Go look it up for yourself, but he's first in completion percentage at over 77%. He's second in touchdown to interception ratio at 10-1, and he's second in passer rating at 121.5. I mean, the guy is playing lights out football, and he absolutely deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I heard a lot of people talking about that this week and last week, and he just proved it even further. And if you look at the definition of the word, who is most instrumental to their team's success? The most valuable player. You can't argue that case better for anybody more than Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, who else is going to have their team playing as a top 3, top 5 offense when he's in there, and then you pull only him out? It's the worst offense in the NFL. I mean, the guy is that instrumental to the success of this team. It's shown by him coming back and being able to perform the way he has, and this team being on a win streak because of it. And like I said, those 2 losses could have easily been wins if this defense didn't give up a game-winning drive in both of those games. This is a huge opportunity for Tua to keep that winning streak going, silence a lot of the haters on Thanksgiving against what people really seem to think is a way better team than the teams that we've been playing. So let's go out there and prove them wrong. And the same goes for this defense. Now, we have won 3 games in a row, equally due to our improvement on defense as our improvement on offense. But these wins, while they have done a lot for our confidence, have not done much as far as silencing the doubters, because you still have people saying out there that we haven't beaten a winning team, though I think the Rams were a good team that we beat, and we've looked great in these other teams. But that's besides the point. We need this team to perform in this game in order to silence those doubters. Against the Patriots, it was a lot of the same stuff. The defense has been completely on fire lately. The tackling looked a lot better in this Patriots game, and the defensive line continues to perform. Zach Sealer and Calais Campbell are absolutely dominating. Zach Sealer had another sack to tie Calais Campbell at 4 for the team lead, and it was a strip sack and in great fashion. I mean, they are just going back and forth as far as who's going to be the best defensive tackle on this team. But hey, having 2 great defensive tackles is a great problem to have, so I'll take it. On the other side, I think the most pleasant surprise has probably been Chop Robinson. I mean, the guy is just electric off the edge. On obvious passing downs, there's nobody on the field faster than him. His get off is insane when he knows it's a passing down, and that just goes with that comfort of knowing when it's okay to rush like that and just jump off the ball and get after the quarterback, which we saw with 1.5 sacks, almost 2.5 sacks. You know, he had that one taken away because the ball was slightly coming forward, but hey, it still shows that he got to the quarterback, shows tremendous pressure. I mean, the guy is, he's really developing into his own and can really become an elite pass rusher for this team. I cannot wait to see what this defense look like with all of our pass rushers healthy, and when we're able to move Chop Robinson around, he's going to make nightmares for a lot of offensive coordinators and offensive line coaches out there. But can he keep it going against a better team in the Green Bay Packers? He's going to get those opportunities. Jordan Love likes to hold on to the ball, and can we see another one of those Chop Robinson sack celebrations? I mean, at this point, do the Dolphins have two of the top 3 celebrations in the NFL with the chop and the waddle? I mean, I think they might. That's a conversation for another time. Now, at the second level of our defense, we did suffer a big injury in Anthony Walker going down. Now, I do hope he's okay, and I hope he is able to recover quickly. But the way that Dodson came in and played really makes me feel comfortable, giving Anthony Walker that time to really get to 100% and not risk re-injury with him, because Dodson came in there and really played well. Even though he came in halfway through the second quarter, he was still 4th on the team in tackles with 5 tackles and had an incredible interception, one-handed interception at the line of scrimmage, which, I mean, here's the highlight of it. Do we have to ask ourselves, with that OBJ-style interception, does he now have better hands than OBJ? Because OBJ dropped the ball in a key 3rd down, and I mean, yeah, it was a blowout, but that's not what you want to see. You want to see him being a 3rd receiver that can contribute in this playoff run, and I did not like what I saw on that play from OBJ. So hopefully he can shake off the rust sooner rather than later and keep it going. But fantastic interception from Dodson, and I think a great performance. In his first game as a Fin, he gets his first Dolphins interception, and he had a good performance to complement Jordan Brooks, who, as our leading tackler, I mean, he had 9 this week and has 94 on the year to be our Dolphins leading tackler. Yet he displaced Chris Long, rightfully so, and he's slowly becoming one of my favorite Dolphins on this team. I mean, the guy flies all over the field, plays good in coverage, plays well against the run, and tackles well. So, I mean, really does everything I love from a good starting linebacker, especially a middle linebacker, which, I mean, with tackling being such a problem for this team, it's nice to have someone that's so sure at tackling. This group is going to be a huge part in that Green Bay game because it's going to be a cold weather game. They're going to have to battle through the conditions and get after those ball carriers, because you know they're going to want to run the ball well in those weather conditions, just like the Dolphins are going to have to. But our linebackers are going to have to stop their run and force Jordan Love to throw it if we're going to have any success and prove all the doubters wrong. Which brings me to probably our MVP on defense for that game against the Patriots, which was Jalen Ramsey. He is not being talked about nearly enough as one of the top corners and especially DBs in the NFL right now. The guy's playing lights out, amazing football. And yeah, he didn't get an interception, but he impacted the game in all sorts of ways. He had 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits. He lived in the backfield and made it an absolute nightmare for rookie Drake May to do any kind of work back there. And yeah, they made it close towards the end with the defense giving up some easy points there, but it really was a dominant performance for this defense against that rookie quarterback. And yeah, he doesn't have much help, but the defense really didn't make it easy for him at all. And surprisingly, the rest of our DBs had a pretty good bounce back as well. You know, poor tackling performance last week, especially from Jordan Poyer, and he bounces back. You know, he came back and he had 7 tackles, all solo tackles, so good tackling on his end, and even a pass defense. And look for him to improve on that. He probably just had to knock the rust off, get into form with his team, into midseason form. I think he's there. So let's see if he can build on that performance. Look for him to make a lot of tackles in this Green Bay game. And the same goes across with Javon Holland. The guy is always performing. I mean, he's always been a solid performer for this team. It showed in this game. He played well, had a tackle for loss. One of our leaders in the tackling department, and a good leader for these young DBs. You know, Storm Duck and Kader Kohu. I wouldn't say they played great, but they did hold their own. And they're going to be key in this matchup against the Green Bay Packers, because look for the Green Bay Packers to try to pick on them. So they're going to have to be prepared and try to take some of these opportunities that we know Jordan Love is going to give them. All in all, guys, this Green Bay is not the best situation for the Miami Dolphins, but it's a great opportunity. Now, the reason being because it combines 2 weaknesses of Tua. Tua is 0-6 in extreme cold weather games and 1-5 in his last 6 primetime games. Now, he is playing with extreme confidence, and he's on a roll, playing better than anybody in the NFL right now, but these still stand true. He did win his last Monday Night Football primetime game against the Rams. Can he make it 2 in a row, and can this defense keep rolling? A huge key of this game, though, is going to be how can this running game help Tua perform against this Green Bay defense? Because, yes, we did not have a good running game against the Patriots, but Alec Ingold was being held to limited snaps to not risk re-injury. So with him coming back, expect for us to have more of a traditional running game rather than being supplemented by our screen game like it was against the Patriots. Alec Ingold is a huge piece of our running game. So with him coming back, full workload, expect for us to try to get it on the run early and often to help Tua, give him time, and keep Luke Van Ness and this Green Bay defense off of his back, because they can get after the quarterback if they know you're passing for it. But most importantly, can our defense keep playing hot and limit this offense? They're coming off a hot game again this week, putting up over 30 points, and Jordan Love did look good. So it's all going to start up front with our defense. Can our big boys wreak havoc and apply the pressure all day on Jordan Love and force him into mistakes? Because Calais Campbell and Zach Sealer are playing great football, but they need to stay consistent and consistently apply pressure against Jordan Love to give us a chance and to allow our linebackers back there to run freely in this extreme conditions, fight against these conditions in that weather, and make tackles against these ball carriers. Because if we can stop this run and apply pressure with our defensive line, there's no way that we don't give our DBs an opportunity to take advantage of that. But most importantly for our DBs, they need to tackle well in this game. It's going to be a cold weather game. We all know it hurts more to tackle in cold weather games. So can they put that aside, put the mental game behind them, and just get out there and play ball? Those are going to be the keys to this game. Can we tackle well? How is that running game going to look early in this game? And can we force Jordan Love into those mistakes that he's known for our DBs? Our playoff percentage went all the way up to 34.9% with this win against the Patriots. Let's see how much higher we can make that percentage this week with a win against Green Bay in front of the whole world on Thanksgiving night, and make a statement for why Tua is one of the best quarterbacks in this league and why the Dolphins deserve to be in the playoffs. Fins up, baby.